Good morning. Now, Crystal Palace defender Mark Haigh has written, "Jesus loves you and I love Jesus" on his rainbow armband.
Football associations say that he'll face no formal action but reminded him of the rules and not to do it.
It comes as Manchester United ditched LGBTQ+ jackets after one of their players refused to wear one over the weekend.
So are you getting tired of these political messages in sport? Let's discuss this with former Managing Director of Leeds United Football Club, David Haigh. Good morning, David. And we just want to point out, and people might know this already, but you were the first openly gay football manager in the Premier League. No doubt there are some that aren't out, and that includes players as well. So good on you for blazing that trail. But do you feel that to some degree this expectation on players to publicly nail their colours to the mast has just gone too far on all sorts of identity issues?
Hi, good morning to you both. I mean, it's certainly looking something like a pantomime the last few days, isn't it, with what's going on kind of on the pitch. And I think that's where the footballers really do need to focus. They need to focus on the football and on the pitch. And, you know, like you said, I mean, I was apparently the first openly gay managing director of a football club 10 years ago now when I was in charge of Leeds. And that's ironically, I think, the same time that they started this Rainbow Laces campaign. You know, so it's been going 11 years now. And, you know, I think we need to keep players focused on football and not worrying about politics and making religious statements, whatever those statements are. Because once you open that Pandora's box, which is what's happened, you can see the problems that you get, because someone is going to get upset somewhere along the lines, and you're going to have this type of pantomime, effectively, and that's exactly what we're seeing now. So I think we need to keep these types of things out of football, certainly during the working day, as it were.
I mean, David, I think there are many viewers that would agree with you. It's not only in football. You look at lots of public sector institutions, you look at things like the NHS and so on. I think people feel like they're bombarded by this political project, that we should just be able to have spaces where people aren't just constantly being told what to think and how to think and what to believe. But what are some practical things when it comes to football? I mean, what are some things we could do to try and sort of push this tidal wave back? What are some things we could do to actually keep this just about sport and football, not about politics and identity politics?
I think you've got a certain difficulty, because obviously this is something that's come from the regulators. It's come from the FA and the Premier League, that they must do this. This is a scheme, like I said, that was back in 2013 that's been brought on by the people that run the sport. So it's very difficult for players and actually, you know, the clubs to say, no, we're not going to do this. So it really is down to the fans and people around the game saying, as you've seen now, we've seen the pantomime, these messages are going to go back to the people in charge. Hopefully they'll take note of them, because it is causing very many players and people difficult decisions to make. You know, I'm sure we don't want to see people scribbling any type of message on any type of uniform, whether it's a nurse, a policeman, a football player, or, you know, you guys sitting there now, but you know, reading the news. I mean, is that something that, you know, you can't go to work with whatever religious statement over your T-shirt? And I think, you know, football players shouldn't be doing it either.
The irony, David, is in this quest for diversity, what you end up with is a sort of homogeneity, actually, because you're not allowed to have a diverse opinion. You have to believe that it is your obligation to promote LGBT, regardless on your personal thoughts. It is your obligation to promote gender equality, racial equality, even though you might have some nuanced opinions on those issues. That's one of the issues with this, isn't it? That it relies on everybody agreeing that we all think the same way. And it takes a very brave person, whether it's a boardroom or a changing room, to say, hang on, I'd like to quite have agency over my own opinion, thank you.
No, absolutely. You know, and I think that's the, you know, I've got lots of different hats on, but, you know, having been a football manager, but also, you know, being a gay person, I don't want because to increase inclusivity within sport, which is very important. I don't want someone to be forced to wear a rainbow lace or a rainbow band. You know, that's something that I don't want to see. Equally, I wouldn't, from a religion, want to see someone forced to promote a type of religion or a political belief or anything. I don't want to see anyone forced to do anything. And because the regulators are signed up for this scheme, which does, I think, have some benefits for inclusivity, they're forcing people to do things or to wear things that they may not like. And then, of course, you've then got also human rights issues there as well, because you're forcing people to do something against their beliefs. And so once you open this Pandora's box, which the Football Association, sorry, the Football League have done, that's why we are where we are. And it's you're going to see again and again and again.
David, you've been a football manager. You've been in the dressing rooms. I mean, just give us a sense. What do you think ordinary football players out there are thinking and feeling about this issue, knowing they might not actually be able to say so publicly? What do you think the mood is among football players?
Yeah, I remember at the time, the first time when they introduced them, the laces were so bad quality they were snapping and no one wanted to wear them because of that. I remember this ill-thought-out campaign 10 years ago. I think, a lot of players will just toe the club line. They won't want to rock the boat because at the end of the day, it's a job. It's, and they won't want to rock the boat with their club, the manager, the future clubs. So I think you're seeing a lot of that. People just wear it, because that's what they've got to do. But is that what we should be doing, forcing people to wear things that they don't want to? When at the end of the day, it should be about the football.
Absolutely. Great to see you, David. David Haigh there, former Managing Director of Leeds United Football Club.